Hello everyone, it is Flosstube 71. It is Saturday, November 1st, 2025. So I'm going to give you my October recap. If you are new to my channel, you'll find both paper crafting, card making videos and cross stitch. So if it says Flosstube, it's cross stitch, and that's what you found today. So welcome. I have a finished object that I'm so excited about. I've got my notes down here, that's why I keep looking down. Some whips, some plans, and some haul. So let's get started. First, I'm going to show you my finished. It's not fully finished, it's just finished. But this is my first Heaven and Earth design finish. Now it's a quick stitch, so it's not anything big, but still. This is Quick Stitch Psyche's Butterflies. So the artist is Josephine Wall, and it is charted by Heaven and Earth. So I used this for my gridiron grind game, and when I finished it, then I switched over to another full coverage I'll show you. But my first full coverage finish, so excited. And I started this is on 25 count Lugana or even weave. And when I started it, I don't know if I know the date. Let me see if I have it. Yes, I started it January 1st, 2013. So before I had anything gridded fabric, before Pattern Keeper, any of that. But then I got it in Pattern Keeper to finish it up. So that was exciting. All right, then Whip Go for this last month, I'm looking at my notes here, was Red Sugar, was my fancy lady. And this is what she will look like when she's done. And I did 530 stitches on her. So just worked on her skirt. So when I started the month, I just had some of this gray in, and that was it. So for my Whip Go, I stitch either 5 hours or 500 stitches. So that is her. My other Whip Go, I didn't work on it. I will show it to you. I may still try and get it out. But it was Beachcomber's Bounty. I haven't worked on this for a while, and I really wanted to work on it and just could not find the time. But this is, I'll put a picture in of what it's going to look like. And this is where I am right now. And I didn't write down any numbers on it because I didn't work on it. So I would like to have worked on it, but I've been trying, as you'll see, to get my Heaven and Earth stitch along, getting 6 pages done on it, because there are several other charts in this year's stitch along that I would like to have. And if I get 6 pages done, I get those. So that's what I've really been focusing on. All right, and then temperature stitching. So temperature stitching for October was all Halloween or spooky. So these are in the order of their numbers for the temperature. So if you're not familiar with temperature stitching, you can pick 10, 5, however you want to do it. I did 10 and assign them each to a number 0 through 9, and then whatever the last digit of the temperature is for that day, that's what you work on. And I just do 100 stitches on them, and I go out, I don't try and wait until I see what the actual temperature is. I just go out Sunday and look at the projected highs for the week, and that's what I write down. So this is Betsy's Halloween Basket, and this is by Pansy Patch Quilts. That's what it'll look like when it's done. I did 566 stitches on it. So I brought this border down, and then I worked on this right here. And that fabric is, well, that's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate. It is 32 count 18th century blackboard. It doesn't say who it's by, so I don't know. So that was for the number 0. For number 1, was lollies, crows, and candy corn. Let me find the chart. So this is what it will look like when it's done. I actually worked on this last night. Well, the trick-or-treaters were coming, so there's still a hanging thread on there. And this one I got 437 stitches. And I've just been working on filling in that big pumpkin at the bottom. I did do, I think, these 3 white stars up there. But most of it was all in that pumpkin. And I haven't decided if I like his cheeks well enough or if I'm going to rip those out and do them more solid. That's an overdyed, so it's got those stripies in it. It's kind of fun. But unfortunately, all these Halloween ones are going to go away now. So they won't get any more stitching done on them this year. All right. So number 2, for the temperature number 2, was Halloween and cross stitch. Oh, I didn't tell you what that the Lollies Crows was on. Let's see. It is on, hang on. Let's see if I find my little project sheet. 32 count light mocha from Witchelt. All right. And this is, what did I say was next? Halloween and cross stitch. So this is what this one will look like when it's finished. And it is on 32 count antique lace. I think it's Stephanie's hand dyed. So let me hold it back here and show you everything. So that's everything I have done. And what I worked on this time were this spool, finished out these shelves, and then started on the tag. I did 577 stitches total on this one. So it has a long ways to go. I still have that big witch to do, but it was fun. I'm putting these all back in because otherwise things will get all mixed up and I won't be able to find anything. All right, next is Checkered Halloween. This is an old pattern by M Designs. And how much did I get done on this? 763 stitches. So it's getting close. I left it on here because I thought I might work on it if I had some extra time or if I had to go babysit. My daughter-in-law is going to have our granddaughter anytime by Monday at the latest. So I thought this would be an easy one to take with me if I had to go babysit. But that didn't happen. So, but I finished this pumpkin. No, I can't remember. I think I did that this month. And then the trick or treat and then started on the cat. So the cat is the last thing to stitch besides the rest of the white on the candy corns on the border. And then there's a bunch of back stitch and a couple of buttons. So unfortunately, you'll probably have to wait till next year to get finished. All right, I did 763. I think I told you that, but I don't remember for sure. Next is Halloween Alphabet. This was a new start. So this is from Primrose Cottage. This was for number 4. I did 672 stitches. It didn't get called that many times, but I was at a card making retreat and I took it with me, so I did some of it there. So this is what is done. And this is on, I think it's Vintage Country Mocha. Yeah, 32 count Vintage Country Mocha. Again, won't get any more this year. All right, and then the next one was Bat Banner, and it didn't get called once. So I was kind of disappointed that it didn't get called at all. And then the next one was I think it's called, I don't want to show you this because it has the pattern. It's out of the Primrose Cottage, but Pumpkin Stack. So let me show you. It's this one. So this is the 12 Spooky Smalls that came out, I don't know, a couple of years ago. Oh, 3 years ago. And this is the Pumpkin Stack. So it was a new start. It only got called once. And it got 116 stitches. So just some black stitches. This is also on Vintage Country Mocha. So that's it. Not very much. All right, and then for number 7 was Halloween in the City. Yeah. Did I miss one? Nope, I just had them out of order. Halloween in the City. Okay. I have a picture here somewhere of what it's going to look like. Here it is. So this is by Croquette A Go-Go. I'm not sure how you say her name, but that's what it will look like someday. And I did 522 stitches on this one. And this one, the fabric thing came off, and I think I stuck it on somewhere. Yeah, it's a Vintage Country Mocha. I thought it was, but... So here is where we are on this one. So I worked on this house and this. Sorry for the hanging thread. Those 2 houses on the end, that's what I worked on. This is really a fun one to do. And I think I have her other, I think she's got all the seasons in the city. And then I think there might be a Christmas. I don't remember. There might be another one. But this is the only one I've started on. All right. The next one for number 8 was another new start. And it is by Blueberry Ridge, Sampler Holidays Halloween. And my shop had this real fun fabric. I forget what it is. Early Halloween by XJU Design. But they didn't have it anything less than 36 or 40 count. And I usually work on 32. So I found this, which is, picture this plus Mirage, 32 count Lugana. And I got 336 stitches in. So let me hold it back. That's not too bad. So that's 336 stitches. Kind of matches my nails, doesn't it? And I'm stitching it with Gentle Arts Witching Hour. So it has some kind of almost bluish or purple tint to it. So I think that'll be really pretty someday. All right, and then the last temperature stitching is a historical sampler stitch along from a couple of years ago. I'll have to put a picture in of what it's going to look like. I think it only got called, I think it got called twice. So I did 211 stitches. This is what the whole thing looks like. And I'm doing it on a lilac. I think it's hand dyed by Steph. But it's just called lilac, I believe. So I worked on finishing up that square and then started this one. So, and this is as wide as it is, so I just have to finish this. All right, that's all the temperature stitching I did. So all of those will be going away now until next fall probably, unless I just decide to pick one up in the middle of the year. All right, and then after that, let's talk about the other stitching I did. So I'm working on, I'll have to put a picture in of what it's going to look like. This is a baby sampler for my granddaughter. Obviously not going to be done by the time she's born. And it is on, I was in the Fortnite Fabric Club for a little bit. Oh, it's in here. And that's what this is, which they no longer dye fabric. But this is Mi Amor by Fortnite, 32 count. And I did 1,115 stitches on this one. So it's got a little bit of modeling, but not too much. I didn't want anything too much for a baby sampler. So still a ways to go on this one. She won't know if it's not there when she first comes home. All right. And then what's next? Let's see what's next. Next is, I think this is, yes, so this is what I picked up for Gridiron Grind. This is something that's in the full coverage fanatics, and people are doing it different ways. I'm just doing 10 points, 10 stitches a point for the Chiefs. That's my favorite NFL team. So once I finish that Psyche's Butterflies I showed you first, and I'll put a picture in of what this will look like when it's finished. But this is Riverwalk Charm, and I did 940 stitches on it. It's so cool. I really like it. It always looks so much better on camera too. That's funny. I guess because I'm not looking at it so close maybe. And this one is actually one of my Whip Go calls for November. So that's lucky. I can double dip on it with Whip Go and Gridiron Grind. All right. And then I worked a little bit. I think I only pulled this out once. But this is the Satsuma Street Stitch Along Holiday House. And I did 223 stitches on it. And this is on, I think it's like raw. There's one of the called for, I think. Yeah, 32 count raw natural from Swigart. And we've gotten part 4 or 5, so I'm way behind. This is all still part 1. But I did, it won't show up, I'm sure, on camera. But for the snow, I did one strand of white and one strand of blending filament. And then the gold is a Petite Treasure braid, metallic, which you can't see. Those never show up on camera very well. So I would like to work some more on that. Just not enough hours in the day. Let's see, what else? This is what I've been spending most of my time on. Oh, let me take this top Q-snap off. I actually moved the Q-snap on this. So this is the Heaven and Earth design stitch along for this year, 2025. I'm doing Drinks on the Beach. Artwork is by Lars Stewart. And I'm trying to get 6 pages done. So I worked on it. I did 5,518. Whoops. Can't hold everything. 5,518 stitches on it this month. So I have finished 4 pages and I'm starting on my 5th page. So I have to finish, well, about half that. So all of that by the end of the year. I think I did the math and I think I have to do like 280 stitches a day to get it finished. So I'm going to do my best. It is currently at 31,609 stitches out of 85,170, which puts it at 37.11%. So I'm really going to try, because there are several other charts from this year's stitch along that I would like to have. And they just posted today, you can start signing up for the 2026 stitch along. And I had thought, well, I don't know if I'll do that because this, you know, took a lot of time. I spent a lot of time stitching on this. But then they posted the charts and there's like 4 or 5 of them that I really like. So I'm thinking about picking one of them and doing it tent stitch, because then maybe I'll have a better chance of getting 6 pages done to get the rest of them. All right, let's see. Let's make sure that's everything I stitched on this month. Yep, that's everything I stitched on. Riverwalk Charm, I forgot to say, is 18,650 stitches out of 382,900, so I got a ways to go there. That's at 4.87%. And then my burr sampler for my granddaughter is 1,641 stitches out of 5,563, so it's 29.5%. All right. Let's do plans. So I'm going to pause you for a minute so I can kind of readjust, get my plan whips ready, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, ready to show you plans. So for whip go I think I have these. I think I have all my temperature stitching first. Well, here it is. So whip go, the fancy lady is Luna. So she'll be fun to work on. I'm going to show you where I am. This is on a hand dyed by Stephanie, and I don't know if I have the, nope, I don't have what it is. I was in her Fabric of the Month Club for a while, and I don't see the fabric name there, but I'm pretty sure it's hand dyed by Stephanie. It really needs to be ironed, but this is where I'll be starting from. I love my little needle minder. I don't remember where I got that. Isn't that fun? It's not little, it's big. So that's where Luna will be starting from. So hopefully I'll get to work on her for whip go. I still would like to pick up that Beachcomber's Bounty. We'll see, from this last month. And then my full coverage whip go piece was Riverwalk Charm that I showed you before. Okay. Temperature stitching for November is going to be my fall project. So not Halloween, just fall, Thanksgiving. I don't have very many Thanksgiving, but I do have one. So for the number 0, I haven't started this one, so I'll just show you the pattern. This is going to be the next in my Seasons of the Heart from With Thy Needle, Brenda Gervais. So the autumn one. So I finished spring and summer. And now I'm going to start on autumn. And I'm doing these, I think it's Vintage Country Mocha. Yeah. So that will be for the number 0. Number 1 is Autumn as is Joyful from Lila Studio. I'm sure you've probably seen this. A lot of people are doing this one. This is what it will look like. And I don't have a very big start on this. I started it with plans to keep up with. There was a Facebook group that had kind of divided it up, and you did so much each month, or that didn't happen. This is on 32 count old stationery, hand dyed by Stephanie. And this is where I will be starting from on that. It's really a lot of fun. I had to put the back stitching in those leaves. It really made a difference. But it is a fun one to work on. But you just never know what the temperature is going to do, what I'll get to work on. All right. And then for number 2 is Autumn Alphabet. This is a Lizzie Kate, and I did work on this earlier this year, maybe in September. So that's what it's going to look like. I think I have all the other ones stitched, but this one. And this is on 32 count clay from Witchelt. So that's where I'll be starting from on this one. All right. And then number 3 is Fairy Autumn Glow. You've seen this one before. I've worked on it several times this year. It's a Nora Corbett. This is what she will look like. And I'm getting her skirt close to being done. This is where we're starting from. And this is on the called for, I think it's Beach Walk. Yeah, 32 count Beach Walk from Witchelt. It's a little bit green. So hopefully she'll get some work done. All right. And then number 4 is one that I got at an event in Tulsa years ago. So it was when Plum Street, Paulette from Plum Street was there. And it is called Betsy's Autumn. That's what it's going to look like. And I don't know. Let's see if it says. Probably this is 36 count vintage Meadow Rue. I'm guessing that's the called for. But this is where I'll be starting from on that one. So I haven't worked on this. Let's see if there's a year on here. 2017, that's probably when we got it. That's probably the last time I worked on it. I don't think I worked on it after we came back from the event. All right. Trying to keep them all straight over here. Then for number 5, which actually got called for tomorrow, is, nope, not that one. Nope. All right, where is it? Ah, here it is. This is called Give Thanks, Autumn Lane. I think this is the only truly Thanksgiving piece I have going. And I started, I think, last year on Thanksgiving, maybe even so. I don't have very much done. Let's see, this is on Heartland from Picture This Plus, 32 count. And that's all I have done. Part of the turkey, just some of his tail feathers. So it definitely needs some more work. Some of these I really need to iron probably before I start working on them. All right, that was number 5. Number 6, these are probably getting all mixed up in here, but it doesn't matter, is Edge of the Woods. This was from Silver Needle in Tulsa, one of their, what did they call it then? A Little Help from Our Friends Stitching Circle. So it was, you got something every quarter, every month, every other month, I don't remember. This is from the Cricut collection. It's called Edge of the Woods. And I just started this, I don't know what fabric this is. When I was gonna travel somewhere, I thought, well, I need something small to work on, so I don't have very much done. It's very wrinkly. And it has a hanging thread. So it's like a soft green. So that's all I have done on that one. I am traveling again, so maybe I'll take it with me. Although I'll probably take Jingle Ball stuff. So that was number 6. Number 7 is another Plum Street and another one that we got, I think, at that same retreat. And I don't think I've actually started this one. This is Betsy's Autumn Bird. We did the little acorn, which I have somewhere. But I don't think I started this one. So that will be for number 7. And then number 8 is a new start. So like the Halloween one I started, this is the Thanksgiving sampler one. So from Blueberry Ridge, Sampler Holidays Thanksgiving. And let me pull this out because I don't remember what it is. The fabric I got is Mysterious Wood. Wood. Uh-oh. I'm not sure why my light just went off. All right, well. And it doesn't seem to want to come back on. It's like my laptop is. I have to power it from my laptop. So let me get that powered back up. Maybe you can get it back on. There we go. There we go. All right. So it's a really pretty, I just dropped all the thread. It's got some green and some orange. And then the thread I got for it is Classic Colorworks Fallen Leaves. Well, so I think that will be really pretty. So that will be a new start if that number comes up for Thanksgiving. That'll give me another Thanksgiving project. All right, let's get all this put away. It seems to be falling everywhere. All right, and then the last number, number 9, I didn't have any other fall starts, and so I decided to put Nature's Journey on there. So I don't have the fall one in here. This is something that's in the Just Cross Stitch magazine that a part comes out every part of the magazine, and this is a small picture, but this is the whole thing right here. So I have not even finished the spring part. I have all the magazines so far. This is on Picture This Plus vellum. I didn't have the Be Stitch Me called for, but I think this is working pretty well. So this is what I have done. So I have a good start on the spring. But I think what I might do, if this gets called, is work my way down to the middle and do the fall moth that's in the middle, and then work on the fall section. Because I think I can get to the middle without too much trouble, and then I can work on that and get down to that fall area. So that's what I'll probably do if that one gets called. We'll see. All right, that is all my temperature stitching. So I showed you Whip Go, showed you temperature stitching, Heaven and Earth Design Stitch Along, still gonna work on that. Jingle Ball, I got the Hands-On Design Stand-Up Santa, which I just got the kit from my LNS. I couldn't get online and get the kit from Kathy. There were just too many people trying to get it. So I have that, and then this is kind of haul, but just to show you, this is the other kit. I was actually able to get this kit. So this is the other class I signed up for. So the Winter Woods Biscornu from Blue Flower. So it came all pretty. And then, sorry for the crinkling. So then you have the pattern, of course. And then the reason I really wanted to get hers is because she uses Roxy Floss and Cottage Garden, and those are harder for me to source, those threads. Isn't that pretty? And then you have a big button to put in the middle, and your fabric to stitch it on, and some interfacing. So we'll see. Excuse me. We'll see if I get this stitched before Jingle Ball. I'm thinking I might take it on my trip, or the Santa. The Santa would be easy to travel with because it's on that big count fabric. So that's part of my plans. Let's see what else. Gridiron Grind. I'll still do that. That's Riverwalk Charm. And then I'll still work on my granddaughter's sampler. And then I have some more hiding in here. Here it is. A stocking for my other daughter-in-law, which is not going to get done for this Christmas, but I would like to make some progress on it. So it's a shepherd's bush stocking. And it's Sherry stocking. And I don't have a very big start on it. It's on that big, what count is this? 20 count natural brown, and you do it over 2, so it's like 10 count with pearl cotton. So that's where that is. Seems like the light never came back right from when my ring light went out, but all right. And then Holiday House, if I have time, I would like to work on that Satsuma Street stitch along that I showed you. So that's all my projects, plans, just some haul to show you. I did get, I don't think I've ever shown these before, but I just got them the other day, or maybe it was a week ago, from Gina's. Here, let me scoot them down. You might be able to see. No, maybe not. Gina's Unique Needle Minders. So Snowflake, a tree, and then these are little gingerbread men. So fun. So she has a Facebook group. That's usually where I see it. She'll post periodically, and you can just claim them there. And then she has an Etsy shop too. And then I picked up from my L&S today, Blueberry Ridge Winter Rest. So pretty. And it calls for overdyed. And then these were from the Marketplace in August. And my L&S just finally got them in, and I'm still waiting on, there's a fall trio. But this is the Tropical Bird. They're fun. And then the Halloween Alphabet Sampler. And then some new Brenda Gervais. These just came out. Quaker Snippets number 2. So she had the fall one. This is now the winter one. What are these worked on? Maple Bar by Cedar River Linens. I don't know if my L&S has that. Sweater Weather. And Winter Trio. Oh, I like how they did it all together. On the back, it shows you they did them all as one. That's kind of fun. But I really need pillows. And then I got the punch needle. I wasn't going to get this punch needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. But I saw somebody doing this one on Flosstube. And I thought it was so cute. I forget who that one's by. Shakespeare's Peddler. And then this one I also like down here. All right, so that is it. My plan right now is to come back at the end of November and show you everything. And then I want to do Flossmas. I had planned to do it last year. Life got in the way. I wasn't able to do it at all. But I have the Historical Sampler Advent Box, and I have actually a stamping from Stampin' Up, the company that I sell products for. They had an Advent calendar that's just like 12 days, I think. So I'll probably do that too, open that up, and then I have a chocolate one. So my plan is come back, wrap up everything I did in November at the end of November, and then record a little video every day of what I've opened and what I'm going to spin a wheel with all my Christmas whips on it. And then I'll film every day, but probably only put them together and post once a week. That will be a little bit easier than trying to post every day, I think. So that is my plans for November and letting you know what's coming up next month. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye.